Huns. Okay, if the camera is shaking, I don't have y'all on my tripod. I'm just kind of hanging on. This morning, I have to go to the neurologist. I need a neurology appointment. I got to go to the urologist. Not urologist, myologist. Anyhow, I got to go get that Botox shot. I was telling y'all about, you know where I'm talking about. Girl, I hope they numb it up. Of course, to numb it up, they got to give you a shot. Well, no, I have Elfin cream. Not a bad word. E-L-F-F-I-N, Elfin. It is a cream that I used to have to put on my port site when it was over here and I was going to the cancer center, because their needles that they used were just a little bit too big and it hurt. And it got to where it didn't really work. So why bother paying for it and using it? So I've just gotten where I can pull up my big girl panties and there you go. So, but today I got to take off my big girl panties and there you go. TMI warning to you. A little late. My sister's mug. I was going to show y'all, I do have a list. Isn't that pretty handwriting? I was taking my time. That's what I did all day yesterday. I wrote neatly. No, I did some other things. Let's see, we're going to check off. I did do my laundry and the bathroom laundry. I have not picked up the house. I have not cleaned up the dining room. I have not changed the menu board. I have not cleaned the dining room. I'm going to that appointment now, here in just a bit. I got to go and get some shoes for my sister-in-law. I still have not made, now I did make that for supper. Y'all, I'm telling you, those little pasta box things cost hardly anything. I mean, they've gone up, actually. They used to, I promise you, used to at Aldi's, you could get them for 85 cents. Yes, ma'am, please, ma'am, put it in the bookie. But my baking day is going to consist of, and today we're doing, I don't know, I've never had Botox shots, especially where they're going. I'll put y'all, you can't go there. I'll put y'all right here, maybe. You can't go there either. Well, where can y'all see it? Y'all can see it right there. Look, you need to be propped up on something. We're going to use a dock up in this cabinet. There we go. I'm using one of my fancy, it's still leaning. I'm using one of my fancy china teacups. Alright, anywho, where was I? Oh, the meal prep, the food prep. I promised Carol Beth we were going to do snickerdoodle cookies, brownies, and hot chocolate pancakes. I know I'm not going to get to these today. This will be what we have in the morning for breakfast. I'll go ahead and tell her that. But hopefully this afternoon we can at least get one made. That's going to be my goal. Maybe make just one. Because if we go ahead and make them now at the same time, they're going to get eaten and gone at the same time. And that's supposed to be our weekly snacks for like lunches, or if you want something sweet here at home. Instead of buying the cookies and all that mess, I'm just going to start seeing if this is stuff I've already had down there. I mean, I've already had down there. So, like the brownie mix is for Best Buy, May 16th, 24. Now, I know these are April 12th, 23 for the snickerdoodles. They're still fine. look it up. There is an actual website. isitstillok.com. I promise you. March 2023. So, they're fine. It's fine. It'll be fine. Okay, I'm looking to see what else can we scratch off this list. Surely I got something more than just laundry. Oh, and I did do... Y'all, I'm telling you, that supper... Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. And then projects I got to do. I've got my sister Lisa a camp bag. It's like a red and white checked... Oh, this looks like a picnic basket, but it's red and white checked. And it's insulated. And I was going to either do their initial with their, you know, the monogram thing with the ivy around it. Or I'm going to come up with something. Do cricket for my pink tumbler. Make shirt. I'm going to hide the, I'll hide the body in the trunk and help people look for you. Yeah. So I got 2 of my things done yesterday. Woohoo! Woohoo! Okay, in all seriousness, I do have to do that this morning. Go and get the coo shot. My coochie. Yeah, that'd be my coochie shot. Circle, circle, dot, dot. Now you got a coochie shot. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I don't even know how to explain myself. It's almost like when one of your kids get in trouble and you get called out. Excuse me. Ma'am. Your children. Have y'all ever had that happen, like in a store or something? Mama, can we go look at so-and-so? Yeah, go on ahead. And we would have this thing, and I'm sure it aggravated everybody, but Brian! It kind of like a sound off. Here! And if I could hear him, I knew he was, you know, in close distance. Carol Beth! Here! Usually Brian would have her with him, or Becca would have her with her. Yeah, when they were all still living at home, somebody had to be with Carol Beth at all times. The one time, oh gosh, I've got a little bit of time. The one time, I need to finish my coffee. Oh yeah, we still got some time. We had gone to Panama City Beach, and it was the one that had the big shark. Isn't that Panama City Beach, or is it Gulf Shores? Either one or another. It had the big shark gift shop. You know, where you actually have to walk through the mouth of the shark. We were in there. That place is huge. When I say huge, I mean huge. It's divided up into 3 separate areas. Well, the pets and stuff like that are in that far, as you're walking in, that far right section. Far left section, all the way to the end, it was the airbrush t-shirts. Y'all remember the big fad of the airbrush t-shirts? You hadn't gone to the beach till you got one of them, you know what I'm saying? That was proof. That was proof. You could bring back all the shells in the world. You had to have an airbrush t-shirt to prove where you've been. Anywho, I'm trying to get comfortable. I got not quite 30 minutes. Anywho, and Carolyn was with us, my mother. And FATMAN. I don't know if FATMAN was on that trip or not. I don't think he was. For some reason, I don't think he was. Anywho, Brian's gone one way. Becca's gone the other way. Carol Beth is with us. Now, 2 grown adults. We got Carol Beth in between us. We know she can't go now. This was when she was still in that run phase. She didn't know not to wander off. She didn't know not to walk away. I mean, you know, we kept our eyes on her because she was like a little Houdini. Carolyn, I'm going to say Carolyn for my mother. Carolyn wanted me to look at something, and she's like, Stacy, look. And I promise you, just in a blink of an eye, they always tell you that. They can be quick. They can get like that. Trust me, it's true, okay? And I turned and I looked, and I'm like, yeah, that's nice. And yeah, I remember looking at it for maybe a minute. I wanted to figure out what it was made out of, you know, how much was it. So we're checking it out. We're looking at the bottom, and we're turning it around. I looked down. I promise you it was not longer than a minute. But it seemed like a lifetime. Like, y'all, I screamed, Carol Beth, where are you? And Carolyn turned around, and she's like, oh my Lord. And we were near the back middle part of the store, like halfway, literally halfway between the right side and the left side. And I'm just standing there panicking, and my mama heart just automatically knew she wasn't in the vicinity of me no more. And I looked up, and their back door, I guess like from the loading area or whatever, their back door was propped wide open. You could have gone in there and stole everything from that back section, and they never would have known it. And all I could think of is somebody grabbed my child and went out that dadgum door. So by this time, I'm in pieces. And the managers had heard us calling for her, and they're like, is she gone? And she is gone. And so they shut those back doors, they shut them, lock the front doors, and they do the code Adam, which means lost child. And they're giving her description. They're checking everybody that they were wanting out. You know, we've done finished our purchase, and we need to leave, and da-da-da-da. He's like, no one is leaving the store until we find that baby. And so they checked the restrooms. They checked all the little nooks and crannies and areas. And all I could think of is they grabbed her, and they were out that back door in seconds. And she's gone. Finally, they came over the announcement thing. Carol Beth's mom, please come to the front. Because we had been screaming, Carol Beth, Carol Beth. Never did give them my name. You know, Carol Beth. So I needed to go up to the front. And all I could think of is, oh my God, they've found somebody that saw her being snatched out the door. You want to know where that little heifer had been, and we had been calling her, and yet she had not answered, because this is when she was younger. And if she didn't want you involved, she wasn't going to respond. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. Her mind was elsewhere. It was being drawn in other directions. She was over looking at the hermit crabs, just nonchalantly, like no big deal. And I go and I hug her, and as I'm hugging her, I'm getting onto her. And you know that feeling of, if I ever get my hands on you, I'm going to kill you. And then when you finally find him, oh my baby, I found. Y'all know, I'm sure you have been in similar circumstances at some point in your life or other. You know, them cutting up at church, or disappearing, or not coming when called. You know, the scenario. When I get my hands on them, I'm going to kill them. And then when you finally get your hands on, oh, my baby. That's how I was. I'm like, Carol Beth, why didn't you answer when we called you? And of course, she's just giving me this blank stare back. Like, she said, crabs. This was where she was really talking good. Just crabs. And I'm like, yes, I couldn't. When she said that and gave me that look, I just could not. And I was just so grateful she was okay. I couldn't get on to her. I knew in her mind, she didn't know no better. She knew she wanted to look at crabs, and she was tired of being dragged along by us. So she split and run and went and looked at the crabs. I mean, yeah, in her mind, that's what she wanted to do. That's what she did. Oh, yeah. That's when we finally had to go, because used to, when she was even younger, maybe like 2, 3, we had to have the leash. It was a child's. It looked like a little backpack that they had on, and it had a long leash on the back. And people used to, your child's a child, not a dog. And Fat Man would always tell me, they don't know. They do not know our situation. They do not know how she is. They do not know that in a second she could be gone. Don't pay any attention to them. We know what we're doing and why we're doing it, and it's right. Our pediatrician, I didn't know they made such. And our pediatrician had told us, you're going to have to. Because, well, she had tried running out in front of a car. It didn't even occur to her to look. I mean, you know, she's young. She just darted. Coffee. I told Fat Man this morning, I said, oh, he had made the comment, you need a little bit of Jesus and a whole lot, no, you need a little bit of coffee and a whole lot of Jesus. I'm like, no, not today. I need a whole lot of coffee and a whole lot of Jesus. I don't even remember how we got on the subject of getting lost. I don't remember. Like, for real. Yeah, they had an article about the news thing that they had the other day, yesterday, about the early signs of Alzheimer's and dementia. My husband just messaged me. They're getting off at 1:30 today so they can go and vote. Awesome. And Carol Beth would actually she can actually vote. Now, FYI, look at them. They are pure playing together. Look at that. Do you see them? And they aren't hurting one another because neither one of them is whining or crying or doing anything like that. Neither one of them are actually biting. And Toot's not using his claws. They're just playing. Of course, that tail swiping around real hard, ain't it? Hey, so is she getting the best of you? Or he? Carol Beth will always correct me. Mama, the cat say he. Now, there's Hazel's shoe toy. And, oh, now, look, she's going to lay like that. make Toot leave her alone. Anywho, what was I going to say? Oh, voting. It takes me a minute, but it eventually gets to the front. You know what I mean? Carol Beth does have a non-driver's license, Alabama state ID. I never thought about her ever needing one. It never occurred to me, you know? She needs some identification with her picture on it. I just always assumed, I know I'm Mama. Her normal doctors know I'm Mama. What do we need that for? Well, a trip to the ER will let you know why. Yeah. And then we're like, okay. And at our old church, they would ask, when Carol Beth can vote, go and get her. I had to actually take her to the voting registrar's office. I mean, we had to go by there anyway and get registered. But she had to meet qualifications that she was capable of making that decision. And so she's got that toy in her mouth, just chewing it. But we took her, and they didn't put it this way, but they gave me a sheet of paper, and they wanted me to show her how to connect the lines. You know, it was just all different kind of lines. You're going to go straight. The line might go up. It told you which direction it needed to go. Well, for voting, you just draw that line straight across. You got the end part over here and the arrow part over here. Connect them. And but don't do every one of them. Whenever we had first given her the sample ballot, the test part, she did every line. Yeah, and we didn't think about being very, 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 very specific of just one and one here. Everything in a box, you can only choose one. So finally, Miss Millie, bless her heart, she has passed on now. Yeah, she was so sweet. She was part of the board of registrars. And so she was like, come get several sample ballots and you practice with her before actually voting day. And so we went and got some samples, and we were able to show her, like, here's a box. Pick a name from that box. Draw that line. So by voting day, she knew what she was doing. But we would usually, she would ask, and that was another thing. I could not tell the voting people, the poll people, I have to help her. That wouldn't, nope, not allowed. She had actually tell them, I need her to help me. So we taught her that when we go in, Mama can't say a word, I'm going to get mine. Then for you to get yours, you tell them you need Mama's help. And that's how she can vote. Long way around the world, but that's how she can. So I usually will take mine and draw a line, and she'll look at hers, she'll look at mine, and she draws the same line. If that's not the way you're supposed to do it, TMI, you never heard it from me. Don't call the voting folks on my aunt. On my butt. On my honey. On my asteroid. Carol, I thought that was so funny the other day. I said, Bo, if you don't get your asteroid in here. She said, Mama, can I say asteroid? And I'm like, sure, it's just a rock in the universe, So she thought that was so funny. Alright, it is about time for me to go. I need to get my water bottles. I finished off all my Joe. 1 or 2 more swallows. There were 2 more swallows. Yeah. So, let's go do this doctor thing. And where we're going, Jackson's Hospital. Sweet Lord, have mercy, Jesus. There are 5 separate buildings to Jackson's Hospital. You have to walk between. Finding a parking spot is near about impossible. They did have valet parking. Now, Baptist, I love Baptist. If you have a handicap tag, valet parking is free. As it should be. And they got handicap spots marked off for valet parking. Jackson's has a huge, well, and Baptist has a parking deck too, but that's mainly for employees. They've got a parking deck, but it is sketchy at best. Where I'm going, between the 2 buildings and the hospitals across the street, there are maybe 4 parking spaces up through there. Deal is, you get in there, you're going to have to pull up somewhere and do a tight U to back up and get out. It's one way in, one way out. And I mean, it's tight in there. So you got that option. Well, they do have LA. And it used to be $3. I think it is still $3. Used to cash only. Won't take a debit card. No. No way. We can't take debit cards. Well, cash only. Well, whoever really carries paper folding money with them? I mean, you know, come on. So finally, this current year, I had to go to the urologist. It was probably around February. So I pull up and I made sure when I left this house, I had $3. Okay? In fact, I even had a 5 with me. I thought, just in case they raised it. I had like $8 total. And pulled up, got out. And this heifer seen me get up out of my car, left the keys in it, start walking to where I had money in my hand. It still said $3. Oh, ma'am, I'm sorry. We don't take cash anymore. You have to do it through your phone. Excusez-moi. You have to do it through your phone. Guess what? That particular day, Big Mama's phone completely doorknob dead. I did not charge it the night before. And you need a phone to park a car. So needless to say, I had to park on down probably about building 6 to get to building 1. We hoofed it that day. Which, I know, walking's good for you. Walking's good for you. This is like hilly country. I was huffing and puffing by the time I reached the top of one hill. And then I'm walking down, I'm like, oh. And then I finally catch up with little old black lady that was way ahead of me, and I finally caught up with her, and and she's doing it too, and she looked at me and she's like, honey, you gonna be all right? And I'm like, yes, ma'am, I think so. As soon as I get to that bill, that's where I'm going to. So if I fall out, you call me some help, and if you fall out, I'll call you some help. I'm like, you got yourself a deal. So me and her walked together. And then she finally looked at me, and she's like, I'm beginning to wonder if either one of us is going to make it. Because we were getting slower and slower. But she was dead serious. She looked over, and I got tickled and laughing so hard. She was like, I'm beginning to wonder if either of us is going to make it. And I'm looking at her, and I can't help but bust out laughing. And she said, well, I'm thinking it's true. She said, you're huffing harder than I am. Oh, goodness. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Anywho, I don't know the parking situation anymore. So, yeah, it's almost 8. My appointment's at 9. You never know when there's going to be a wreck. You never know when there's going to be traffic. So, let's go do this thing. Okay, my people. I'm home, but now I've got to look for my phone. I think I've either left it in here or I might have accidentally... I got to get up in here first. I might have accidentally... I hope not. Oh, here it is. Yay! Yeah, I can't hang out in this cartoon. Only that, I need to print out a label to send back a remote that we had to replace our remote to our TV. And they sent one. Amazon sent one. That joker didn't work neither. And we bought them before, you know. We go through remotes, honey, like oatmeal cream pies. I kid you not. Okay. I'm in the house now. Got my phone, got my water. I'm good to go. I'm making Carol Beth some lunch. Yes, Hazel. Yes, baby. Yes. She wants me to pick her up. She missed her mama. She missed her mama. So that's what she's wanting. She's wanting me to pick her up. Anywho, left the doctor. I was kind of a little bit mad. I don't know about mad. I wouldn't use the word. I was a little... Mad would be the word. Mad would be the word. I made this appointment. It's been a month since I made this appointment. And I told them on the phone when I made the appointment what it was for. You know, we've talked about the Botox before. I'm still having problems. Yada, 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 bing, bada, boom. Can we do the Botox? We've already talked about it. Let's just do that. And so I assumed, and they're like, okay, come 8/22/2023. And I'm like, okay, good. So here I am, you know, I'm going to get my hoo-ha Botoxed. Don't know how that's going to go. I get there, and I wait. And I don't mind waiting at the doctor's office. It does tick me off, though, if they're the ones that have that sign up. You know the sign. If you're more than 15 minutes late to your appointment will be canceled, and you will be charged X number of dollars. Usually it's 50. I remember I was 6 minutes late one time to therapy. In fact, I think it was for Carol Beth or me. I can't remember. Carol Beth was with me. I want to say it was her. We were 6 minutes late. 6 minutes. Now this is the doctor, not the urologist. This is thinking back. This was the therapist. We have had to wait on him for 45 minutes before. Nothing ever said. No sorry. No sorry I wasted your time, or I was busy, or no. Nope. But here I come waltzing in 6 minutes late. Oh, well, the doctor's done canceled your appointment, and you are charged a $50 or $60 fee. Honey, I went off. You gonna think I need a therapist because I'm gonna kill somebody up in here. You've got to be kidding me. And she's like, well, it'll be about 3 months before we get... What? No. So, I got to crying because I was so mad and I was so upset, I started crying. And I knew the other receptionist real good. You usually see her on your way out. And she's like, Miss Roten, come here. So I had to go through the door to get to her. And she's like, don't worry about it. We're going to take care of that fee. You are not going to be charged that fee for 6 minutes. She said, now I can't do anything about the appointment, but I will make you one as soon as possible. Is next available. She said, now even if we have a cancellation, I'm going to put your name at the top of our cancellation list. And I'm like, thank you. I mean, the only reason why, traffic, they had a wreck on the interstate. Wasn't nothing I could do about it. I ain't a tow truck, I ain't a po-po, and I ain't an ambulance. So there was nothing I could do. I mean, yeah. Anywho, all that being said, today, urologist. And I had to wait for a little bit, but it wasn't that bad. And I'm waiting in his office, and I start getting an email. And it is from the school system. And I've asked everybody to just pray. Pray that God shows me what I need to be doing. And I know that's going to be the easiest thing for me to do, because para-teachers, I found out, help with the special needs. And with my sister used to do that before she got her teaching, special ed teaching thing. She said, you know, that's a lot of lifting. You have to pick them up out of their wheelchairs. If they're like, some of the ones she took care of were basically a vegetable. I mean, I hate to say it and put it that way, but it's true. They were there because Mama needed to work. And that was a free place to put them. And they were certified, licensed people that knew how to deal with them. They knew all about, you know, feeding tubes, changing the diapers, how to lift. That was one reason my sister's back went out so bad. She was lifting junior high and high school boys toward the end because they moved her to the high school. My sister's maybe 120 pounds soaking wet. And she's lifting this big old high school boy from his wheelchair up onto a changing table to change him. Yeah, no. Anywho, I'm like, I really don't want that one. I really don't. Lord, just whatever comes up in first, I know you got it for me. So I've been waiting since July the 26th for my substitute teacher's license. I have been asking everybody on here, everybody at church, please pray for me. I just have started asking for that. I put in my application, like I said, July the 26th. I'm not even really praying myself. I just assume, oh, you're going to have this. You'll probably by the opening of school, you'll have a couple of days that you can work. Yada, yada, yada. You hear the air fryer. I'm so sorry. I'm making baby girl her chicken nuggets. Anywho. Just knew, you know, and nothing came about. And nothing came about. Y'all know how it progressed. I kid you not. Sunday at church, I started asking people, I'm like, I'm in a little bit of a predicament. I've been offered the nursing home job at night, but it's 4 buildings that I would have to do and take care of and go and check on and da-da-da-da. Or I can get a parent teacher position where I'll be helping the teacher. I'd be the one doing all the heavy lifting. And my sister told me, she said, you are not going to be able to do that job. I'm going to go ahead and tell you. There's no way physically that you could do that. And she said, you still hadn't heard about the substitute? And I'm like, nope, not a word. So this morning, I get an email while I'm in that doctor's office waiting. Congratulations, Miss Roten, you have been hired as a substitute teacher. I near about screamed out loud in that doctor's office. They done called me back and put me in a room. I was just waiting. Making them chicken nuggets is taking a while. Anywho, but I've tried logging on, and it keeps telling me I have not verified myself. So now I've got to get online on my laptop. And I'm thinking I got to do that way. But I mean, I have had everybody and their brother message me, try to contact me. Yeah. Yeah, I redeemed some of my Jack points. I got the free meal. I had used my, I had a lot of rewards, but I got a free chicken sandwich combo with the drink today. I'm like, you know what, Lord, I got that free meal sitting there, and I'm hungry. But yeah, I'm so excited. She responded back because I put now, is this for the parent teacher, or did y'all finally figure it out and this is for my sub? And she messaged me back, it's for your sub. And I went, oh my sweet heavens, stars and garters, y'all's prayers worked. Which I knew they would. God always answers prayers. Always. It might not be the answer we want, but it's His answer. And He'll answer it when it's time. Maybe July the 26th, it wasn't my time. Now is my time. So there you go. I just needed to be able to do it. You know why? You know why? I just thought about it. You know why God didn't do it until now? So I would know that it was Him doing it. I would know. Because if it happened just like that, okay, great. You know, I filled out this application. I turned in the certificate. I took the test and passed. I would think that I had done it. I ain't done squat. He did it. He did it. His timing, and He did it. In fact, not this past weekend before, we had a, I don't want to say an evangelist preacher, but we had a preacher come through, traveling. And his Sunday night service was be still. Just be still. You want to reach this? Be still. You want to go there? Be still. And it was just like, oh my gosh. And so between that and then asking everybody I knew could think of, pray. Just pray for me. And I felt silly about asking them to pray for that. I mean, there is so much going on in the world with the hurricanes and with Hawaii on fire and Canada on fire. Did they ever get that out? I hadn't heard. Koreans are starting to get afraid. I mean, you know, just major world problems. And then if you look at a Google map and it shows the world, I am the little itty bitty tiny itty bitty speck next to all these other little itty bitty tiny specks. How is God gonna see me as that little speck? But He knows. I'm that little speck and what I need. And with everyone bringing my partition and prayer and not once, but request. There you go, that'd be better. To him, even though he already knows, he already knew I needed a job. He already knew that. He already knew that I would finally wind up with it. But he wanted it where I would know that it was him that made it possible. And so, God, thank you. Thank you for letting me see your miracle in this. Alright, I'm back down with her. Chicken nuggets. Like I said, I had a free meal. And I just ate the chicken sandwich and drank the drink. I usually always bring her fries back. I didn't have any money to buy anything. And I was praying the whole time in that drive-thru line, please don't let there be tax added. Please don't let there be tax added. I've got the free meal. But if they tack on tax and I have to pay it, we're just going to have to pull away. I mean, I was digging through it. I found a quarter, a nickel, and 2 pennies. Right, that's 32 cents. Woohoo! We can do some damage with 32 cents. Girl. Now I'm waiting on her fries to warm up. And then I got to figure out how to get on this email thing and make it where I'm verified so I can get a job for tomorrow. I told Carol Beth, I said, now if you're okay with Mama taking a job tomorrow, is that okay? And she's like, that's fine, Mama. I said, well, I'll probably do tomorrow and either Thursday or Friday, or if I see that I physically can possibly do both. That was another reason why I wanted the sub job. If I get just plumb worn out one day, I know I can't do a job that day. Don't accept it. You can barely move and get out of bed. So you aren't going to be able to do kids. Just mark on there, not available. I got to figure out how to get in that onboarding thing and put it where they know if I can work or not. Okay, let me go get Carol Beth to eat her lunch. Look, I get it turned out. I love those chicken tenders. Oh, I got those at Darlene's discount. Yes, ma'am. Alright, so let me go get her so she can be eating lunch, and then let me check all these emails and see what I got to do about getting paid. Bye. I'll be back. Okay, huns, back home. I thought I was I'm propping y'all up on the cuties. I don't think you'll prop there, though. Not the right way. There we go. Or y'all gonna be crooked of us. I need to take a cutie and put it right there. Hey! Y'all are being held up by these. In fact, now that I got it in my hand, I want one. And to everybody that's been sending me emails and Facebook messages and Instagram messages and just, yeah, about congrats on the job, hold the phone. Y'all, I'm at the point I'm going to cry. I keep telling FATMAN, I'm like, tell me don't cry. And he's like, well, I'm going to tell you don't cry about it because that ain't going to fix it. But you're going to have to look for another job. They told me I was hired. I got an email. You're hired. I tried logging in with the login information they gave me under substitute teacher. No. And then I called her. Well, no, you aren't hired for a substitute. Okay, then what am I hired for? Lunch lady, custodian was even on there, but I didn't mark that one. I'm like, custodian. She's like, no, para-teacher. I think I've told you about that. They would help with special needs. That's fine. I get home, you know, I'll log on and I'll start looking. No jobs anywhere. Nothing available for the next 3 months unless somebody falls and breaks a leg or, you know. Yeah. And with it just being a teacher, okay, with it just being, I'm trying to cook supper and run my pie hole. With it just being a para-teacher, they can only go through one county. So you're probably talking, I don't know, 60 people looking for that 1 or 2 jobs. So think about it. I like Hunger Games. The odds are not in my favor. Isn't that how they did on Hunger Games? The odds are not in my favor. I know they were saying made the odds forever be in here, but yeah, they've never been in mine. It's roten luck and it sucks. Anywho, did not get my procedure. I think I told y'all that too. I've literally been on my phone today trying to figure out what office I need to go to, who do I need to jump through, whose honey do I need to kiss to get this taken care of and get a job. And so far, no one's come forward to let me kiss it. I've got tea going, so we're smoking it up. Okay. And it's hotter than 2 Hennies here. I meant to look and see what the heat index was. Hot. Like, very hot. So, that means no job yet. Yeah, I've been hired, but I have nowhere to go. So, there you go. It'll be alright. It'll be alright. God's got this. I don't know what He's going to do with it, but God's got it. God's got it. Yeah. So, I'm cooking supper. We're having Taco Tuesday because I had a thing of taco shells. This is my last one from Aldi. And then I got some tortillas that have been in the freezer. And I actually have, I'm going to get that chicken stuff. And the cheese. I actually have enough of Carol Best chicken strips. It's cheese. Remember I said I had 3 things I had to do with this cheese this week. Did we already do one? I'm trying to remember. I don't remember. This might be enough to get. Oh yeah, I'll easily be able. That smells so good. Y'all, seriously, if you've never tried this, oh my log clove. Oh, it smells so good. And it's just grilled and ready. It's like no specific flavor, just grilled. Yeah. I don't know. Alright, so let me get the cooking cooking this supper, and it's a fight night. Yeah. They're gonna be a fight. Okay, and to make this stretch, I added a can of corn and a can of black beans. And if I would have thought about it, I could have made some rice and thrown that rice in here too. I'm just saying. Remember taco rice? That's what you do when you got to stretch. Well, we're going to have to get back to stretching. Yeah. But if if you're doing tacos, add corn, add black beans, think of those things, that you could do a can of diced tomatoes if you wanted. I am so sorry. Diced tomatoes, salsa. In fact, I might throw some of the salsa I got, pour it on in there. It ain't gonna hurt nothing, pour it on in. Now, I did scoop out Carol Beth because I am doing her chicken cheese quesadillas. That is her language. But she likes the normal taco too. So, I'm just going to do those for her. I am going to pour some of this salsa in here. Like I said, now it's hitting me about taco rice. And that's what you do to make it stretch. I know that ain't going to fit in that jar. So let's do, I don't know, about two of these spoonfuls is what I added to it. So it's a can of black beans, can of whole kernel corn, almost 2 pounds of beef. Well, and then I took some out. So about 1.5 pounds of beef. And you can use ground turkey, you can use ground chicken. In fact, I made the comment and I forgot about it. Actually, for Mexican, I kind of like the ground turkey myself. That or the ground chicken. Which did you prefer, Bo? Normal hamburger meat, ground turkey, or ground chicken?
Hamburger meat.
He doesn't even know that he's eating the other options. What I know and what he doesn't know, it won't hurt him. You know what I'm saying? Alright, so her quesadillas are done. I was just trying to make sure the bottoms, yeah, we're going to stick. You have to kind of leave them on there. Yeah, they're sticking now. Not to the pan, but to each other. Oh, alright. I only got 4 minutes left, so I'm going to put hers. Look like pancakes, don't I? I'll be right back.